Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my videos. Alright, we're finally gonna be doing the first ever oil change on my Honda Civic. Now if you guys haven't watched the channel lately, this is my new to me 2005 Honda Civic. This was a gift from a co-worker of mine and it is going to be our future daily, but I want to make sure that the maintenance is up to date before we start dailying it. And since it's already in the shop, there's a couple extra parts we're going to be adding to it to make it a little bit more ours. One of those things is going to be a short throw shifter, a shift knob, a shift boot, and a RPM gauge. Everything else on here is just going to be either maintenance fluids or brakes and rotors, which by the way this car really needs. Now that we got the whole interior situated, there's just one more light on the dash that is going to be the service maintenance light. If you go inside the car, turn the ignition on, you're gonna see that it has that maintenance required light on, and it stays on even after I turn the car on. Look, you see, it's the only light in the dash. That right there is my brake light, and that over there is my seatbelt light. In my last video we got rid of the airbag light, and I'm very happy that we did that because I want to have a clear dash. But in today's video we should hopefully have a clear dash because we're gonna get rid of that light. Now like I said, this is gonna be the first ever oil change that we're doing on this car. So not only am I excited to switch over to this very good, very well known mutual oil, that is right, we're switching over to mutual oil. This car is gonna get nothing but the best. I plan on eventually running this on all my cars, not just my Honda. So right now the Honda is the only car and the 350Z that have this oil in it. Very excited to see how the car is gonna handle now that it's gonna have this oil. I'm also excited to see how the oil is gonna look. I don't know when the last oil change got done on this car, but that's the reason why that light is on. So I don't want to get rid of the light without having to do the oil change first, and whenever I get a car I just like to do the oil change. So we're also gonna go ahead and replace the oil filter, and we're also gonna be putting nothing but the best. That is right, this car is gonna get a K&N oil filter. I have K&N filters on just one of my cars, and that is gonna be the Chevy and Honda. On the 350Z I have a upgraded oil filter, and on the Subi they highly recommend you only use Subaru filters, so otherwise I would go K&N. This is what this bad boy's gonna get: K&N filter and this mutual oil. Before we do the oil change, there's two things I want to do first. One is I want to let the car dry for a bit. I want to let it idle. I want to make it engage so that when we drain the oil, we drain as much gunk as possible. And I know what you guys are thinking, Javi, the oil is gonna be hot, but I got a special tool that should help me out with that. And two, I want to get one good last feeling on how the car drives with this oil. I want to see if there's going to be a difference once I add that mutual oil. Right now I can hear and feel the engine vibrate, so hopefully that can help it calm down a bit. But let's go for a drive, see how she feels, and maybe even do a pull or two. Alright, right now I'm on 4th gear. The car runs smooth, but I feel like it could run smoother. It's a little noisy for a stock engine, I'm not gonna lie. I can hear the engine quite a bit. But I'm getting to a narrow street here in Mexico, so I'm about to do a 2nd and 3rd gear pull. This is how the car sounds when I do a pull from 2nd to 3rd gear. Yeah, baby! Unleashing all 200 horsepower. Another 2nd gear pull here in Mexico. Let's get it. love Mexico. Alright, the Honda is now back in the shop. As you guys can see, we have it on jack stands. I got my drain pans right there. I have two, one for the oil filter and then one for the actual oil pan. But I want to tell you guys my plan of attack. These right here are all the tools that I'm hopefully gonna need. Then this rag to remove the oil filter. I'm gonna use this oil filter wrench, and then I'm gonna use a little extension, and then this very nice Harbor Freight double end ratchet. It has a 1/4 inch right here and then a 3/8 right there, and it's very skinny, so I'm gonna be able to get more space to work with that. To remove the actual oil drain plug, I'm gonna use this 3/8 ratchet and then this 17mm socket. And then I want to go ahead and not get my hands dirty, so I'm gonna use this tool that I got not that long ago. Basically has a 1/4 inch tip, but because the socket that I have is 3/8, I have a adapter right here, so I'm gonna put that there and use that to remove the drain bolt once it's broken loosen. And last but not least, I got this Harbor Freight spill proof funnel. It comes with a bunch of adapters for different cars and models. This right here is the green one, which is the one I'm gonna use for the Honda, and it actually has a bunch of writings on the sides of it, so it does tell you what model it is. All I'm gonna do is put it on the oil cap, tighten it, and then the funnel attaches to it like so. So now we can add the oil without making a mess. And look at this chunky bad boy. This bad boy's gonna be heavy on my arm, so I need both arms to dump it in there. So best believe this comes in clutch. Gonna have a link down below, as well as this oil filter wrench, this oil filter, and the oil. So eager to get this done. I want to go for a drive already, but little advice is if you can't find the oil drain plug, look at the owner's manual and it'll show you exactly where it is. It does say we need a washer, so I have a bunch of those right here. Got this from Amazon. And then this is where the oil filter is located. It's in a very complicated area, so that's why you want to use a skinny ratchet, because this might do the job, but it's just a little too thick for my liking, so I'm going to try and use that. But again, if you guys don't know where any of these two things are, look at your owner's manual. Now again, two things. The car needs to be in a level surface. It already is on jack stands, but once we drain the oil, I want to bring it down to, again, a nice and level surface. That way we can get all the oil out. If for some reason you tilt it or try and maneuver it, you're going to have oil go in places and hide there. So you just want to go ahead and have it in a flat surface and drain it like that. Right now, because I'm doing the oil filter, I need the car up to get in on there and remove that oil filter. But in the future, I'm pretty sure I can do the oil change without lifting the car up and putting it on jack stands. Alright, going to add the oil filter. Don't forget to add a little bit of oil on that seal, just to make it easier on us when we go to remove it next time. Alright, the car is now lowered once again. Now that the oil filter and drain plug are hand tightened, we can go ahead and start adding the oil. We're gonna add 3.7 quarts of oil because we changed out that filter. Without the filter it would be 3.5, but let's add this bad boy, delete the code, and go for a drive. Alright, I went ahead, checked the oil. This thing is a little bit above full, and I feel like it's because we haven't started the car up and let the oil filter fill up. Now, I'm not a big fan of letting cars start without oil in the oil filter, but because this oil filter was sideways, I wasn't able to avoid that. With the Z and with the Subi, it's under it, so gravity won't really matter. But in this car, there's no oil in the oil filter right now, so that's why it's reading a little high on the dipstick. But right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, go inside the car and try and delete that service maintenance light. Now I ordered this a while back because lately I've been losing track of when the oil changes have been getting done on my cars. Stickers that say next service due. It says the date, the mileage, and then the viscosity of the oil that I use. Alright, got this thing all filled up. I'm gonna put it right here in the corner. Nice. Now let's get rid of that light. Alright, I just saw a video online on how to erase it. Let's give this a shot. If things go well, we should be able to erase it. Let's go! There is no light on the dash. Check that out. That's crazy. Sometimes you just gotta celebrate these small wins. And let's go. This car officially has no lights on the dash. Now let's take it for a drive and see how she handles with this new oil and oil filter. Let's go. Check that out though. No more lights. Let's get it. Alright, the car feels smooth. It's not overheating. There's no maintenance light coming back on. It sounds just as noisy. There wasn't really a noise reduction there. Not gonna lie though, I think the car does like it a lot. When it idles, it actually stays a lot quieter. There's not that much vibration going on. Very happy with how she feels. But now that she has new oil and a new oil filter, I can go ahead and redline it and really do a nice pull. I'm about to hit this narrow street down in Mexico again. Alright, about to do a second gear pull with the fresh oil. Here we go. Pedal to the floor. We are flying. Second gear pull here in Mexico. Here we go. Oh, baby. Dude, this thing is so much fun. Let's go home and end the video. Alright, we are now back in the shop. This car definitely handles better. I love how the engine feels now. I love how smooth it runs with this oil. And I got the exact same feeling with this Z. Believe it or not, I drive these cars a lot. I drive them to the parts store to go get food with my girlfriend, to just fill them up, just to drive around the corner and whatnot. But where I'm going at is I can notice the little things that we do to them when we change or add a mod. So best believe that an oil change is the first thing I like to do with a car, and this car definitely liked that oil. So I'm gonna be switching the Subaru over to that oil soon, so I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing how she likes it. But this is Javi from Javi's Productions. Your boy got some tacos that he's about to munch on. Next time you guys see me, we're probably gonna be changing the air filter on this thing. I wanna see how it's gonna feel with a new filter, because eventually we're gonna get an intake. Well, one step at a time. But until then, peace out, my friends.